am speaking to Mike right now.
You
are a wonderful person.
Oh, am I?
I don't know any Mikes, but any Mikes that are out there, you are a genuinely beautiful soul.
Anyone named Mike is an asshole. I thought we covered this. Mikes are assholes. Hate Mikes. I used to date a guy named Mike. Ugh. Asshole. I mean, I think when you date guys, though, that are assholes, they lead you to where you're supposed to be. It's like, you know.
Yeah, I think we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah, they're like stepping stones, you know? All those dickheads. So to all the dickheads in the world,
you make us stronger people. You make us more willing to fight back next time. So thank you.
We'll be ready. Let me know when to start.
I have mace now. I never had mace until about a year ago.
You have mace? Will you use it?
I did get mace.
It doesn't matter if you have it. Will you use it?
Fuck yeah. If someone's attacking me, I've been looking for reasons to try this mace. And I don't want to do it to some innocent animal, because that's just
Wait,
cruel.
why would you mace an animal to begin with?
Okay, well, people make things like bear mace. So if a bear is chasing you, you mace them, and then they get all fucked up from the smell and just run away.
I would shit myself. If a bear started chasing me, it'd be too late for the mace. Wait, Ellen, that restaurant was delicious. If you're ever in Manchester, New Hampshire, go visit G-Spot in his house.
By his house, she means the greater area of Manchester.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm a great restaurant picker. So, I mean, every time I pick a restaurant, it's a win. I'm kind of a genius. Anyway.
And you said Panera Bread was bad.
Panera Bread sucks balls.
Oh, whatever. You just you are Starbucks.
If I wanted to pay $10 for a cold fucking cheese sandwich with a toothpick through it, I could do that at
I
home.
Don't know what you're talking about.
I could spend that $10 on marijuana.
I spend $5 at Panera Bread, and I've got enough food to feed me for 2 days.
What?
And that's saying something.
That's saying that you weigh 90 pounds.
Soup in a bread bowl.
That's saying that you weigh 90 pounds.
With more bread on the side or an apple.
You need to eat some more.
And if I spend another $5, I can get a frozen mocha, which is the most delicious, fatty, sugary coffee drink you will ever drink.
And for $45 a month, you can donate to the Feed Ellen Ball campaign.
I used to have a Panera card, my Panera Rewards. And I would use it because I got free stuff sometimes. Like, I got a free brownie once, which was pretty great. I had my first bear claw there.
I've never had a bear claw.
It's not that good. Yeah. It's like a donut.
It doesn't sound like anything I want to eat.
Just a donut, but it's larger.
Okay, wait. Hi. I didn't even know you were there with us. Audience
is here with us?
Audience is here with us.
Is someone talking to us?
Yes,
I can hear voices.
Hear voices.
I hear voices.
So
I hear your voice right now.
Welcome to Seditious Sirens.
Woo! Yeah.
And this is our special get. This is our special get personal with the Ellen Ball episode. We have done shrooms.
Have we in the past?
Let's
not confirm it nor deny it.
I can't confirm or deny.
And let's not specify how many either. Even though it could be anywhere between 0 and, I don't know, we'll go for 20. 20 shrooms. Anywhere in between there.
Well, so we couldn't pass up this opportunity to film some seditious content. And Ellen has a lot she wants to get off her chest. I mean, our last show, if you haven't checked it out yet, Ellen talks about how she's an angry feminist and, she hates men and all this stuff.
Oh, yeah, total man hater.
Yeah, you guys gotta go listen to it.
Kill all men is what I say.
That's what she says. And old people and women and children.
And of course I say, yes, old people as well. Kill all old people. There's actually a movement I tried to start where we ship all the old people to Florida because Florida eventually is going to break off the unit. Well, maybe California would be better because then you just have all the prisons.
To Cali.
The prisons and the old people all go to California. California splits off into the ocean and drifts away.
Oh, nice. That's better for them in a way because they get their own island of old people.
But by then there's going to be more old people and we're like, what do we do with them? We'll just ship them to the prison island. Prison island of California.
You don't age when the singularity happens, age
Oh,
becomes irrelevant.
I don't think the singularity is really necessitates regaining youth. I think that is
Well, you
something
don't
totally
regain
different.
it just no, like
Or
anyone who
even
makes
not,
it
not
to the
aging.
singularity.
Okay, but having anti-aging pills or treatments, not really that. I mean, it is related in a way because it's technology and like how much do we know as a species?
Yeah, why would you have to die?
Well, you could upload your consciousness
Exactly.
to a machine, but if you wanted to keep your body, that's something else. That's like we need endomere technology, and we need to figure out how to get cells to reproduce without,
Well,
having clunks in their data.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see like the future of cyborg people. I see technology as the next stage of evolution. We won't need bodies. Where we're going, we don't need roads. We're gonna like evolve.
I really like having a body. My
I
body
mean-
gives me a lot of things that I don't think machines could give me. And I guess that's where the passion in life comes from.
I know a few machines that have gotten the job done, if you know what I'm saying. But anyway,
Getting the job done is not the same as actually having the equipment to do the job in the first place.
I think I can make use of both things.
All right, if you don't have a body, you're not going to be having any like sensory input besides.
Well, you won't need it.
Well, I guess you could like simulate it. You could like simulate the taste of cinnamon, or the feeling of cold
the taste
water,
of sex.
or that. But I just don't want the simulation. I want the real thing, And I would be disappointed if everybody switched over to having a robot body or like a robot brain.
Okay, so what if you just had robot arms and a robot?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Legs.
I'd be like super robot woman.
Would you gain a ton of weight though? How would that?
It depends on what the material they're using. It's probably gonna be some unobtainium thing, but I'm just gonna go with like titanium. That would be nice. Like nice titanium arms.
Like, how would we stay fit?
You don't have to stay fit. I mean, unless you're just talking about your digestive system part.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have to do sit-ups and stuff like that.
Ah,
Move your head around. But if I had like titanium arms and legs, it would be like worked by pneumatics, and I could like run and jump 10 times higher than normal humans.
Bionic Ellen.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I could lift things that weigh 10 times more than what I'm used to lifting. Actually, I don't know. Because that would be like 50 pounds.
But what would you even lift? Like, I don't even understand.
I could lift cars off of children that had been run over.
I mean, I feel like if
I could
children
save people from speeding trains.
I feel like if people are in front of speeding trains, they deserve to die.
I mean, honestly, if there's going to be a duel between your car and a train, the train is going to win.
Exactly. That's why you people should not try to fight a train.
All right, but have you heard the Big and Rich song, I Play Chicken with the Train? Uh-huh.
Those people are ridiculous.
I play chicken with the train. The train jumped off the tracks or something. I don't know.
Can
I
you
used to listen
sing,
to
Ellen? Can you sing?
No. Can't you tell by my talking voice? My regular voice is
Can you
obnoxious
try?
enough.
Oh, we forgot to mention that this show is dedicated to Renee Cake Free Love.
Yes, Renee, we miss you.
We miss
so much.
you. Renee couldn't be with us today. She's with some family.
Having a grand old time.
She's having a great time.
They're
and
actually in one of those buildings where you have all the bouncy houses and the collision course that you have to get through.
Really? That's awesome. I didn't even know she was there. She should have took us.
I
Damn
know.
her. Damn you, Renee. Oh, just kidding, Renee.
We really do miss you.
We miss you.
But we understand that you're having more fun with other people.
She said she's
So fun.
her direct words were she's with mass holes and she's having fun in mass.
I told her that we would have fun for her, and she said, you can't do that. I'm a native masshole, and I'm going to Massachusetts. So, massholes in their holes. They're happy as a clam.
And they taught Renee how to drive. Like, obviously. That's what makes her such a great
Oh,
driver.
her dad must be a crazy driver.
Oh, my God. I bet. Park my car. Park my car. That's her name. That's my best. We should just do a show where we do Renee impressions. Go for it, Ellen.
Oh my god. Like, no way. Do you have a cigarette?
That's your best one? That's such bullshit.
That's what I think of when I think of Renee. I think of her smiling, looking off into the sky and going, "Ah, oh my God." And then her saying, "Do you have a cigarette? Do you have a lighter?" Nope. Nope. I do that. I have to do. Okay, so I have a client that I have to do that to sometimes because he talks he talks nonstop. So I'll be like, "John, please be quiet. Please be quiet, John. This is quiet time. We don't talk here." And John's just like a generic name I just came up with.
Oh, okay.
So, and he'll just be sitting there and he can't stop talking. He like even when he's totally silent, he's still moving his mouth and his face is making expressions.
That's not funny.
Look at short tongue, short pencil.
Does he have some sort of like?
He's actually a war hero. He likes to tell the story.
Tell his story, please.
I don't know if I can reveal too many details, but
you're telling a fictional story about your friend named John.
He was in the military. I won't say what branch, and he was stationed in Cuba and was bitten by a mosquito and ended up getting triple E, which is a type of encephalitis. So his brain has been eaten away, and now he just talks incessantly.
Wow, that's sad.
And he has a wife and kids and everything.
Wow, that's so sad.
He's totally degenerated.
So let me ask you, if you...
That's why you have to be good at like... Take a deep breath. I have to do that sometimes too.
Jesus Christ. Jesus, Kanye.
Christ, not Chris, not Christ. Why do they call it Christmas? It's supposed to be Christmas.
Ellen, you're ridiculous. Okay, so seriously, do you have any views on like Darwinism, survival of the fittest? What's that guy's name?
Darwin. I love Darwin. Are you talking about? Oh,
the guy who says I guess Darwin says
Dawkins.
This.
Are you talking about Dawkins, the selfish gene?
No. I think it's like McKinley. I need to get my notes.
Charles Darwin was actually an influence of mine when I was younger.
Well, this guy adapted from like social Darwinism or whatever, but he says that if you're like handicapped or you have a disability, that you're not meant for this world and like you should just be like not thought about.
Okay.
Who is this guy?
I don't know who that guy is, but I'm familiar with what you're saying. Yeah. And honestly, there's different levels that people function and communicate and exist on. So I guess on a certain level, there's the logical where things make sense and you understand them. Then there's the next step up, which is like being more considerate and respectful and polite and trying to fit into society as a whole. Mm-hmm. So as far as just survival goes, yeah, I think he's right. I think people who are handicapped, like if they were out in the wild, they wouldn't survive and they would die. And that's nobody's fault.
Do you think the government should use social programs to help people?
No, fuck no. I think, if people were allowed to privately create organizations that took care, because a lot of people, when they get a mental illness, their family gets tired of dealing with them because they're not the same person anymore, and it's been years and they're not getting any better, and they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So they want to get them somebody who will actually help them to recover and be a normal person again. So that's when they send them to facilities like the one where I work at. And we do a really great job in working with them every day, and sometimes the progress is really slow, which is why it's so frustrating, because you can't see change immediately. It takes months and years sometimes.
Yeah, or sometimes it just doesn't work when your brain is at that stage.
Yeah, but some of them could not have jobs on their own. They rely on charity completely. Yeah. But there are people out there who care enough to pay for them.
Yeah. But they shouldn't be, you agree they shouldn't be forced.
No, not at all.
I think that guy who said that was Herbert Spencer. Don't quote me on that. It might have been Machiavelli.
Machiavelli wrote The Prince, which was basically a book describing how to get your subjects to like you and listen to you.
Yeah, that's why He's a very like talked about person in business because I'm in business school. So they do go over his philosophies a lot in ethics courses, I guess. I don't know. My view on ethics is that this is where I feel people have the dilemma. I don't feel responsible. I feel like you can't be. I don't know how I want to put this.
You can't be responsible for what happens to other people. Is that what you're saying?
You can't decide other people's morals for them. And
No.
I think that is what makes us so angry with the state, is because they're trying to, with these laws or whatever you call them, these regulations, the police like they're trying to decide your morals for you. And that's my thing with ethics, with taking courses like ethics, because you can't decide someone else's morals. Like, even if you say, you know, killing people is wrong, I think killing people is wrong. I wouldn't murder you if we got into a disagreement. But
well, it depends on why you would be murdering them, right?
not really, because if I wanted to kill you, it really wouldn't matter the reason.
Okay, well, what if someone's attacking you? And like it's a life or death situation?
They're still gonna do that though. That's my point. If they wanted to,
Yeah, but
like,
you
murder me,
I
couldn't decide. Like, I think killing is wrong, so I wouldn't kill someone. Well,
you wouldn't kill in self-defense?
No, yeah, I'd kill someone in self-defense. But I'm saying I just wouldn't kill you just because I felt like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I try to
just
think
because
of,
you could.
Yeah, I try to think of other like means to that. So like those are my ethics and morals. That has nothing to do with laws or anything. Like, I'm not murdering you right now because there's a law that says if I murder you, I'll go to jail.
Well, you know what really irks me is, like, especially driving around Manchester, there's so many cops just sitting around watching.
Yeah,
And what are they watching? They're watching for you to be speeding. So first of all, speeding, you're not hurting anybody. And also, like, you're slowing down traffic so much when you follow the speeding rules. Like, people naturally are smart enough to go with the flow of traffic and not get into accidents. They can figure out tricky intersections themselves.
There are videos like that went viral of like streets in Africa or whatever where everyone's driving with no red lights.
Exactly.
Like, no lights at all.
You know,
it's just they make their way. You use common sense.
In other countries, there really aren't that many, at least strictly enforced road rules. And they just find a way themselves. Like, I remember when I was touring through Europe, people were turning around in the middle of intersections and, like, not stopping at lights and going before they turn green and all this. It's just, like, they just do what's smart. They don't need the laws to tell them what to do.
And even the people that are dumb. Like, so that's my argument. Even the people that, you know, they're really just being reckless or whatever. Even that person, do you feel it's fair to say, I should really write this stuff down. It's fair to say that people, like, if you don't say, we were talking about it earlier, about the punishment for people who are, like, they've wronged you, they've done something against you, and what, like, should the system be for that in a society where there are no laws and are no, you know.
Well, there's actually an example of this happening in Detroit, Michigan. I don't know if you heard about that, but that happened right after I moved away from Michigan, where the city of Detroit ran out of funds, and they just said, we're not working any government programs anymore. So it was like an anarchy city. And there's actually a famous bodyguard protection service that you can hire there. Like, if you need services that the police provide to you now, you just call these people. And also, I think if there was no court system, there would naturally be some sort of judicial system that arose just out of public need, because it is something that people need. They need a fair, unbiased judge, and they need somebody who can argue their case for them.
But we do that in our community. We just hire private mediators. So
exactly,
and that's our little own form of judicial system.
And that's how you figure out somebody's punishment. Like, you get everybody to agree on it, and you talk about it.
And I just feel like even if people think that people are inherently dumb or inherently stupid and they need, like, to govern them, they can't govern themselves. I just feel like that's just a flake. Because I look at things like abortion, And people are like, well, we need to put laws so people don't get abortions after so and so amount of time. I'm like,
Does that even make sense?
It doesn't make sense, first of all, because if people really understood what it would take to get an abortion when you're like that far along to the point where they think they need to put laws on it, it's a painful process. I know someone who had it done, and it wasn't pretty, and it's something that she like literally suffered for because she waited till so late to get it done. She suffered from that. She said it was the most painful experience of her life. So, I mean, so the law you're putting in place is saying, oh, well, not that they want to protect you from that. They think it's wrong that you're waiting that long or whatever. So if you think that someone shouldn't wait that long, it's not like everyone's waiting until they're 9 months pregnant to go get an abortion.
Yeah, it's not like everybody's doing that. And I don't even see what the difference is, whether it's 3 months or 9 months. Like, yes, it's more developed, but it's still alive and it can still feel things.
And it's still their choice and their decision. And like I said, she got
the baby wouldn't exist without the mother. So the mother is of the most importance.
Yeah. And that's why I think it's really dumb when I hear about abortion laws, because I'm like, I know how painful it really would be to wait that long to get an abortion, and I don't know anyone just running to do that. So they're really just saying, we need to make these decisions for you before you even think about it.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's the case. I think people just need to be more educated and know, like, even if they know how painful it is beforehand, maybe they're saving up money for it. You know, I don't think it's not something you can regulate, because people are going to find a way to do it anyway.
Yeah. And
whether you want them to or not.
I don't think anyone should be regulating my uterus, like, from anywhere, from just, like, it's mine. No. It belongs to me. So, I don't know. I feel like that.
I mean, there's not even a legal grounds for, prohibiting abortion, because technically speaking, the babies weren't born yet. They're not legally humans yet.
What is illegal? I mean, I think it's that person's choice. And I don't know. I think reputation has a lot to do with going into laws and if we are self-governed. If you had a baby and you threw it in the dumpster, and if you had a friend and she had a baby, she threw it in the dumpster, and everyone knew that your friend has like, everyone who's also friends with this person knew that she has babies, and she throws it in the dumpster. Like, what do you think will happen to that person?
That would be so fucking sick and wrong. And I'll tell you why I think that. Because once you carry the baby to term, once you have the baby, that is your responsibility. You went through with having the baby. So you chose to bring it into this world.
I agree. What would you think? What would happen to that person? Like, what should happen at that point?
What should happen to that is people should stop sleeping with her. Like, what the fuck kind of dude are you if you're going to get her pregnant when you know that she's throwing babies in dumpsters?
Yep. So you're saying it'll only take the first time. And I just think anybody like that wouldn't be welcome in a society. And if you're outcast from a society, then how will you survive?
I think everybody would scorn that person, because it's basically murder at that point. You're just dropping your baby in a dumpster, and it's not going to be able to do anything. Yeah. Not even, find help on its own.
Yeah. And it's like, it's so easy to, I don't know, I guess scorn that person, because really look at it. If she did that in today's society, you had a friend, she threw a baby in the dumpster, the police would arrest her and put her in a cell while you pay for her to eat 3 meals a day. And, like, I don't know. It's just kind of a whole big fucked up system, just constantly revolving. And I think the survival of the fittest model, I guess this is how it all leads back to it, just works in that case, because you're exiling someone is basically, that person's not fit for society.
Yeah. And I guess when we pay tax money, it's basically you're paying to separate yourself from all the prisoners and people who are in state-run hospitals and stuff like that. So I wouldn't have a problem paying for that. Like, if there's somebody who's mentally ill that, keeps attacking people because he's having hallucinations or something, then yeah, I would spend my money on, like, getting him serious help. But I don't know. I don't be like forced to. Yeah, I shouldn't be forced to, and I don't think that all the other stuff that tax money goes to should be paid for either. But I think, without the system there, people are naturally going to start filling these needs because everybody needs these services. Like, if there was no mental health facilities, I think people would immediately notice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why are we seeing so many fucking idiots around town now? They're like stalking people or grabbing their hair or stealing their things, or
Yeah.
this is all stuff that mentally ill people, because they don't realize what they're doing is wrong.
Yeah.
Is the thing, and they want to stop most of the time, but they just can't because it's like an urge they have, and when it happens,
And that's why I feel like there are people out there who would definitely be willing to help those people without force or coercion. It'd just be people who genuinely want to help.
but as far as the lady leaving babies in dumpsters, I feel like that is kind of like murder, just because she's
Oh yeah, she's definitely murdering. I'm just asking what you thought we should do with it.
I don't even know what I would do at that point, because the person she's wronging is the baby, and the baby can't communicate.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you supposed to do? Like, I would probably take it upon myself to take the child if I was really that ambitious. I'd be like, fuck that, you're responsible enough for this baby. I'll take it. And I know that's like me assuming that I know it's better for the child, but basically, yeah, having me is better than being in a dumpster.
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, in that case, but like, even so, there's still people who do it today, and like, my point is, laws aren't prohibiting people from throwing their babies in dumpsters.
Yeah, that's why they go to jail for it.
Yeah. And then they still
I think it's
get out
like
of jail.
neglect, abuse and neglect.
I've seen people get away with it. Even the fucking Kaylee Anthony case.
Oh,
They compare her to Rich Paul. They're like, Rich Paul sells drugs. Kaylee Anthony
really?
forgets her child. forgets her dead baby, and she's walking free, and Rich Paul is facing 81 years in jail. It was the Stoner's Cookbook.
That is fucked up.
Yeah, the Stoner's Cookbook shared that blog, and I was like, that is fucked up. Because you know what? Like, everything was clear. Like, how does someone selling a plant pose a greater threat to the community than someone who loses her kid and finds her dead and buried in the ditch?
And just she was like partying while she was missing.
I don't even remember the whole story. What I thought would happen was the baby got sick and she died of natural causes, and Kaylee buried her.
I don't know, but there was a period of time where the baby was missing. The report had been filed, and Casey Anthony was just out partying and had pictures taken of her.
I remember that. I remember watching something, and I think she didn't like really kill the kid. It was just she neglected the kid, and like she died.
Tried to hide it.
Yeah, and then she tried to hide it by burying her.
Yeah, I think they found out that the body was in the trunk at one point.
Yeah, like, and someone selling a plant poses a greater threat.
Yeah, she's just so fucking messed up. Like, she wouldn't even tell anybody about that.
Yeah, and
she wouldn't seek help for a child.
No, and she had another kid,
which I'm really worried for now.
Yeah, at that point, like, Jesus, I don't know. That's how you can just look at the system and just tell that it's fucked up from such a far view, even if you look at things that way, which schools are good at indoctrinating kids, so most people aren't looking at it that way as of now, but I think people are starting to point it out more. I think because of social media that we could be so well informed on what's going on, everyone gets involved, and they're starting to see, everything's fucked up, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm hoping people pick up on this trend more often, because it's like a lot of people will just look at a situation and take it at face value, and they'll say, like, oh, she's just a bad parent, and according to the legal system, they couldn't prove that it was her, so, she has to be set free. When it obviously was, and, like, honestly, it's not just her that's messed up, or the lawyer, or anything like that. It's just the system in general.
Yeah.
It's a little more complicated than, just switching out certain characters. It's like you have to change everything from the bottom up. And that starts with little things like, just ostracizing people that do crazy shit like that. Or, teaching juries that they can nullify bad laws, which honestly, I don't know what happened with that. Like, I thought that the public would weigh in on that one, and everybody was basically an agreement. Like, yeah, it's her. But
Like, yeah, this bitch basically just, killed a kid. What about the whole Ferguson, Missouri situation?
what about it?
Like,
Like the cops lied about the guy
I was thinking
stealing?
of Officer Wilson, and it kind of reminded me of that because he's like posting pictures of how like hurt he is, and it's just him in a ripped t-shirt, and
How hurt he is?
Yeah.
About from what?
from getting beat up by the black guy with super strength.
Oh, I didn't see that. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the whole details of the situation, but it sounds kind of like he deserves it.
Okay, so no, he wasn't really beat up. My thing is with the whole Ferguson thing, whether it was right or what do you think is wrong? What do you think, like, oh, this kid shouldn't have been in the store? Blah 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 blah.
Okay.
Do
well,
you think it's the police's job to kill people?
I don't think anybody should be getting beat up. First of all, I just want to
Oh no,
clarify
murdered. He murdered.
Yeah,
him.
I don't want anybody to get beat up or murdered or hurt in any way. I just want to say that now because I've made jokes about stuff like this before and people have taken it the wrong way. So I just want to clarify that.
Well, okay.
But no, I don't think that it's cops' jobs to shoot anybody. And honestly, I think that's the worst possible way he could have resolved. Even if it was, somebody was robbing a store, like, you do not kill the person who did it.
Yeah, it
Their
was
life is not, like, the $20 cigar or whatever that he would have stolen. Like, that's not worth his life. Nothing is.
it just goes back to the fact, like, I don't care who it is. Like, not even looking at Ferguson. You can look at all the people that the police have killed over I was talking to someone on Facebook on one of this long comment threads, and he goes, it is the police's job to protect the community, and yes, he deserved what he got because of what he did. So I said, so you think it's the job of the police to kill people? And then he said, yes, some people. And I was like, do people really think that? Do people
Some
think
people do, yeah.
that? And they're okay with it? That there's people roaming around in uniforms that have the license to kill you?
Yeah, okay, well, the thing is, they want the right to kill people, but they don't have it. So the people who can legally murder people and get away with it are the police. So they're like, well, if I can't do it, then the police can. And yeah, I'm going to support that because I
But
want
that's
some
crazy
people to die.
until they want to kill you. And then they say, oh, well, he pulled a gun. Oh, JK, it was actually just his cell phone. It
yeah,
looked
but
like
we
a
shot
gun.
him anyway. We shot him anyway.
Sorry.
Yeah,
My
whoops.
bad.
It was a mistake, but
And
hopefully we can all move on.
And that's all they have to say. Because if I walked in here and I shot you in the face,
What?
I'd be going to jail. But if I walked in here with a uniform and a shiny badge on and said, hey, I work for Manchester PD, and then I shot you in the face, I just, I get some time off with pay.
I don't know, maybe. There are some cops that get indicted, but I think if you had a lot of friends that were in the force, had a lot of date nights, went dancing with your coworkers, that kind of stuff, then you'd probably be okay.
They all get away with it. I don't know who was the last officer who went to jail
I don't know.
for murdering someone in these court cases.
I could Google
None
this,
of
but
them.
I'm too tired.
In every situation that has occurred in the media recently, the worst that it happened, Officer Wilson or whatever, he resigned.
Yeah, because his reputation
Yeah,
is ruined.
not because they forced him to be fired or he's going to jail. He was just like, okay, I resign. You murdered someone.
Yeah, well, that was probably the best thing for him, because if he had stayed on the force, people would have continued
No,
the
I
smear
don't think
campaign even
he,
worse.
He should have stayed on the force, but it's just, but do you get it? He went out in the public and he murdered someone. If someone did that wasn't wearing a badge, like, you shouldn't just be allowed to murder people.
You know
A
what?
badge should not give you that right to
No,
kill
and
me.
he should be in jail, but you know what gives me solace in situations like this is that I know that they live with the guilt every day and they wake up in the night and that's all they're thinking about.
Maybe he's like, haha, I got away with murder.
Maybe, but then he'd be a really sick bastard.
I mean, I feel like most police officers are. I don't trust any of
sociopath.
those fucking pigs. Like we were saying today. Oh, like the meter maid that's writing a ticket. He looks like a nerd who
Yeah,
like,
well, we drove past a meter maid on the way back from eating lunch or dinner or whatever it was. But I was like, look at that fucking guy writing a ticket. And you look and you're like, oh, he should be, what'd you say? I don't know. You
was
should
like-
beat him up or you should have hit him. And I was like, no, he just looked like a nerdy dude that was getting revenge on all the bullies that had pushed him around in the past. Like, he never had the power, and now he does.
yeah.
And
And
he's
that's
just getting people through tickets.
and that's what
It's
police officers are.
understandable.
Police officers are. They were the bullies, and then they grew up and they were like, "Oh, I have no one else to pick on. Guess I'll pick on the world now." Like, those are the people who are police officers. Like, meathead.
I actually knew somebody in high school that was a meathead, and then he became a prison guard. So
Oh my god.
it's true.
Poor prisoners. Jesus, I feel bad for them.
Yeah, but the thing is, with people who have insecurities, or the nerdy kid who was beat up when he was younger, so now he gets revenge by writing tickets, I think they just need to be taught, like, hey, you don't need to get revenge. It's okay. You can let it go and grow above that. I think
Yeah, but
I think
most
people need to, be more compassionate and teach others that, because that's really what the problem is in this world, is that everybody feels alone and they're like stuck in their past.
Yeah.
And I think
mean,
people need, more
understanding.
understanding.
It's kind of really sad to say that I know people, like, we both have a past, obviously, not the greatest one maybe, but, it led us here today, and we're very happy people. And I know people, like, I don't dwell. Like, I love the person I am today. I mean, I hated things from the past, of course, but I don't dwell on them. I try to move on. But I feel like that has more to do with me embracing the philosophy of just, like, being free and not letting things weigh me down that don't need to.
Yeah. Well, I see that point. I mean, for me, it was more so I was really into psychology, and I knew that these problems wouldn't go away on their own. They would just get worse unless I really focused on them. So I ended up, like, thinking about my problems for a long time. And, I mean, to this day, they still affect me a little, but not nearly as much, because once I understood that my problem was that I didn't have the personal freedom that I needed, and once I had that, like, all of these other parts of the philosophy came to realization. Like, I don't have to steal, I don't have to hit people, I don't have to do any of this stuff. I can just have respect for everyone, and these people are going to take me seriously and treat me the same way that I'd treat them. And I guess the philosophy does help with that a lot. Certainly I'm much happier spending time around free staters than my coworkers.
Yeah. I mean, the philosophy is just, like, when you're embracing just total, I'm in charge of myself, I am my own person, my actions, my choices, my decisions are mine. No one can take that away from me. So I have to be careful how I act, because no one can be responsible for my emotions but me. And it did take me a while to realize that, because it's so easy. It's so easy to blame the world and everybody
Exactly.
else. It's so easy, but
That's why you see so many people that are just hate-filled, and they're like, there's fucking Republicans, or the fucking Democrats, or the fucking Tea Parties, or they're so stupid. And, people just project their hatred and this vile, insults towards anybody that will listen. And it's like, it is easy to hate other people and to see something you don't agree with and automatically reject it. And that's just the problem, though. It's easy. So
Yeah.
more people do it than they,
But isn't that-
they don't pause.
but
and
that's
they
why
don't
they're
think about it,
unhappy
like-
people. That's why they're stressful people. That's why their life isn't.
And the more you do shitty things, the more shitty you feel about yourself. It doesn't
True.
matter if you acknowledge it or not. Like, I
True.
remember even when I was younger, like, if I, got upset and frustrated with somebody, and I told them how upset and frustrated I was, and I started being a real bitch to them, I just felt worse, but it made me behave in a worse way.
yeah.
It was just a vicious cycle.
I'm a firm believer in just do good things, because why not? I always say, if if I have the opportunity to help with something, why not? Because it's gonna make me feel good. It's a selfish thing. I don't mind
Yeah.
saying that. It's gonna
Oh,
make
that's how I
me.
feel now.
It's gonna
too.
make me feel good as a person. Like I love to volunteer. I love to help people. I love to be around people because
I know, and I want to see other people succeed mostly.
yeah.
Because I want people to look up to. So I'm trying to help people out as much
Yeah.
as I can.
And I want people to be happy. So it's even the simple fact of if I find someone's wallet, I give it back to them. I don't expect anything in return ever. Whenever I do something kind, it's because I like that feeling. I like the feeling of
Yes,
knowing I'm a
exactly.
decent human being. Like I don't want to be a shitty person. And I know some shitty people, and
I think we all do. We all know really shitty people, and we could have plenty of stories about shitty people, but I don't like to give them any credence by talking about them. I mean, I know that's not true because I gossip with you a lot, but
yeah, but I'm a gossip. So.
venting and talking about gossip are like two really easy things
Yeah.
to do when you're with a friend.
Yeah, and my thing is, I just don't want to be one of those shitty people. I want to be a good person, and I feel like that's in me. So I'm not gonna do anything that's fucked up to anybody.
Like I want people to look up to, and I want people to look up to me in some ways.
Yeah.
So, I try to be a model example for myself, really, because sometimes I'll do things and I'll think back on it later and I'll be like, wow, I can't believe I just did that. That was really awesome. And at the time, I didn't even realize it. but there are times where I do that. There are times where I see somebody do something that I think, like, wow, that's way better than I'd ever be able to do or accomplish. And then, you start trying to take on those characteristics. Like, what did they do that's different than what I do?
Mhm.
And how can I, grow to be better than how I am now?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so helping other people out is kind of an avenue
Yeah.
to that.
And it like you said, it does help yourself because you are an ambitious person. I think of myself as an ambitious person too. Like
Oh, thank you.
ambition is like what you said earlier. It was something you just you don't you just pack your shit and move somewhere because you have to go. Like it doesn't matter. Like
Yeah,
I'm gonna make something of myself and I'm gonna do it now. And like
you
that's
have
it.
to risk everything.
Yeah.
Because you are worth it. Like, if you believe in yourself enough, if you really try, if you put in the work, then it will work out no matter what happens.
Yeah.
That's
I believe that.
That's what that's what motivation is. That's just the will to keep
But-
going no matter what situation
But
you're in now.
most people don't have that drive. They stay in what's known and what's comfortable. Like
I hate the comfort. I think the strangest concept in the world is like domestic bliss. Just having a dog and a house and children and a car and a mortgage and going to a 9 to 5 and just living that every day, the same old comfortable thing that everybody else does too.
Mhm.
And in some ways I feel like I'm doing that, and I kind of resent it because it's just so normal and consistent. But at the same time, there are things that I like about it. I like, the reliability of, things that I can count on. And I know there's certain things that are predictable that I'm going to do every day.
But I think that goes back because I took a religion class and I wrote about it was a story of a Greek it's Greek mythology, a guy named Sisyphus, and he was condemned by the gods to roll a boulder up a hill. And when he got to a certain point, the boulder would fall back down. And he had to keep pushing it back up. It'd roll back down, fall down for years and years and years and years and years. He never questioned the gods or the masters. He just did it effortlessly. And then one day he realized, I'm doomed to repeat the same task over and over and over and over again, with no question. And it's the same when you go to work or you go to school and you're doing the same thing every single day. But where it gets different is when you realize that. When you realize that, you realize what you're doing. You realize that every day, you're going to wake up and you're going to do something. But at the end of the day, you don't have gods or masters. So you're trying to get to a certain point, but most people don't realize. Most people are Sisyphus in the beginning. They're just rolling the boulder up the hill and letting it fall.
Yeah, but I think most people put themselves into that trap because they don't have a long-term goal. Like, what do you want to accomplish in the future, and what steps can you take now to achieve that? That's really what it takes to, keep that motivation up, to know what you're always working for.
Yeah.
I'm investing now into my future,
But
and
most
that's what all the
people,
work is for.
most people's jobs are just all they have, and they're gonna do that until they die. And
I like it. I love my job. It's a challenge every day, but also I think I would go insane if I didn't have hobbies or other things that I
you
did.
have more to life.
Yes.
And I think part of that is realizing, that we live in a society where it can consume us if we let it, but we're outside of that. We're outside of the matrix. We're kind of looking in. Even if we go to work and we blend in with the matrix, but at the end of the day we step out of that. And it's like I'm constantly having that red pill moment every day. Like I go to school and I'm around people who don't talk about liberty or anything about it, and they're just in this cycle I see. But I feel like I'm not in this cycle anymore. So I feel like I've realized I've like evolved from being an ancestor of Sisyphus, I guess.
I know, it's really like a mental revolution where you break out of the mold and things that people have told you your entire life and it's just taken for granted, and then you start questioning, like, why is it that people think that way, or like why is it that staying in one place your entire life is a good thing? Like, why would I want to live in my hometown for 30 years?
Yeah.
It's just simple things like that. Moving away is considered radical sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want to go to school and just accept what my teachers are teaching me.
Yeah.
Like, yes, they're teachers, they know a lot, but they don't know everything.
And there's bigger things to life than
Yes.
school. And that's one thing I see every day. Like, at the small spectrum of if the world ended right now, if there was some fucking catastrophe and the bomb hit Earth, what is being in a school going to help me with?
The only thing that you can really place any value on when it comes to, wondering what you're going to amount to when you die, I guess it's just the present. Like, how happy are you in the present? And, if you were to die right now, would you be satisfied with the life you lived? Would you be proud of it?
But it's only because I don't take those things, that rock, the school, the work, I don't take those things to be my life. They're definitely something I do every day. It's definitely like a part of it in a way, but those things aren't my life.
No, but it's integral, but it's not your entire life, right? It doesn't consume you.
No. And I don't let it. I don't
good.
stress about school. I do my work. I get good grades, but it's like a 0% stress factor. And that's how I try to live my whole entire life, because I realize that life is futile if like you don't live it. So
yeah. Well, for me, it's a little strange because my job is to make other people happy. So sometimes that is stressful because I can't keep everyone happy, and I have to figure out the wisest course of action for everyone, and I have to keep track of people. And it doesn't really matter how long I work. Like, sometimes I work for like 12, 13 hours straight, and I don't get a break. And, that's fine with me because I'm trying to keep everyone else happy, and I get paid to do it, and I really care, and I want to do a good job. But it's just so hard to focus on that all day when I'm at work. But the nice thing is I have a half-hour commute there and back, so it allows me time to transition between work and home mindset. So, like, as soon as I get home from work, it's already off my mind.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to eat Chinese food and watch a movie.
That's how Rob is too, like, once he leaves work. And then I tell him, like, I was telling him, we're different from most people because we're happy every day. And I was like, it may not be all day every day, but every day we're happy. So, like, most people can't say that. So
yeah, the cool thing about me and Andrew is that we hardly ever fight. And sometimes it's hard for us to make up fights. Like, we playfully argue once in a while.
Well, you have to fight so you can have good sex after.
Every time I get upset, he's always like, I'm sorry, it's my fault. It's totally my fault. And I'm like, good.
I just won the argument. Thank you.
That was so easy.
Andrew knows. He knows.
No, I told him this last night. He knows.
He knows. That's good. Yeah. I don't know. Like, we bicker, but, like, we love each other. I don't know. Love is one of those things. It's one of those things, man.
It's the thing. It's the thing that everybody dreams of. That everybody chases after.
I don't know. Like, I never thought that I wanted to be.
That's what it's all about.
To be a Cinderella.
Hokey pokey is actually, it stands for sex.
Really?
No, I'm just saying, like,
Oh.
that's, you do the hokey pokey, you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about.
Oh, nice. I love that you're singing. Yeah, that's all. Anyway, I mean, sex is just the most important thing at the end of the day. Not relationships or love or anything. It's just how good
I don't
of
know.
sex you're having.
I think sex without love would be terribly depressing, because
Oh,
then
no, it's
afterwards
great.
you'd wake up and you'd be like, well, I just had sex with somebody who doesn't love me.
No,
I'm gonna
that's
go
bullshit.
cry. I'm gonna go cry by myself now because I have no one to relate to.
That is some basic bitch ass shit. I'm calling you out, Ellings. First of all, when I first heard about sex, everyone was like, "Oh, you have to be in love, and if you're
Wait,
not,
what is sex?
sex is when you stick a penis into a vagina. That's it, guys. That's it. A penis goes in a vagina. That's it. That's all that happens. No fireworks explode. There's not a scroll written with your name on it, and they put it in a box and mail it to you and say, "Thank you. You're not a virgin anymore." Like, none of that stuff happens. But when people were telling me about sex, they act like it was this great
It's
thing.
a sacred thing.
It's like this.
It's sacred.
Oh yeah, it's so like blah blah blah, and it's just like if you talk about the fire enough, but tell me not to touch it, I'm gonna need to see if it's hot for myself. And like,
lo and behold, it was hot.
oh, it was hot. But no, so it was just like when I first had sex, I expected all those feelings to come and be in love with someone, and it was just like I wasn't. And then for a while, it was just like, oh, am I wrong for that? And then I realized all this shit that these people have been telling me, like, is wrong. Like, I am a sexually liberated woman. I love sex. I don't think that it can be emotional, but I don't think it has to be emotional. Sex is literally giving into your body's desires. You're giving your body what it wants. It might be whorish, it might be selfish, but whatever. Because, like I said, I feel no one has higher claim to my body than me, so I'm gonna treat it right. And I don't feel empty if I have sex with someone I don't love. I don't feel like I've ever loved anyone but Rob. And I've had lots of sex before him.
Yeah, well, I mean, technically, I agree with you, but I kind of had a different childhood where my mom always had different boyfriends, so I was like, oh, sex sucks because that means she's paying more attention to whoever she's with, and I'm not going to see her forever. Or, I don't know, like, I'd see her for, like, maybe an hour a day, but then she'd be with her boyfriend and not paying attention to us. And it was like, as a child, that's really depressing, and you feel alone, and you feel like no one cares about you. It's like abandonment, but she's still there. She's just choosing not to be around you. And then also, I went to a private school and lived with my religious grandparents for a while, so everything sexual was like totally off bounds, or out of bounds. And then I moved in with my other grandparents, and they were totally opposed to me ever dating anyone, and like I never had friends anyway because I was super awkward and withdrawn.
Mm-hmm.
So I never knew that much about sex, but when I was 15 and I lost my virginity, I did get really emotionally attached to the person that took it, because to me that was like my most precious gift, and I'd just given it away, and I was like, I'm gonna get my money's worth out of this. Like, I don't know, well, not money's worth, I guess I was just like, this is a huge, I've devoted myself to you at this point, so like, we're gonna make this work out. And it did. It worked for like 3 years. But
I think it's when people place that much importance on sex that they don't get the best out of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of neuroticism that rises out of it. And I don't think that I would do it now, because like after we broke up, I did have this like awakening where well, that was another problem too, where like not only was I getting shamed when I was younger, but also I was getting shamed while I was having sex. Like, not at the same time, obviously, but like the same period in my life.
Fucking.
Like,
yeah.
I was getting shamed from my boyfriend because he was jealous and he had problems. Like he was really insecure. So he pushed those onto me.
What were the problems with his penis?
Yeah, he was really insecure about that. And he had worries that he might be gay, and he was just jealous of every other male. So that kind of fucked me up too. So I was like, it was hard for me to kind of to not think of sex as such a sacred thing, and to be like, it is okay to listen to my body and give in to these desires. And so like, I think I'm about 80% liberated as far as like how far I've come. But there's a lot of emotions that I attach to sex, and I wouldn't just have sex with anybody. Like,
Well,
I wouldn't just be like, wow,
attractive.
you're attractive. I've known you for about, like 3 months. We've
3
never.
months.
Well,
Jesus, Ellen.
I'm just
That's
assuming,
why
like-
you're such a good girl.
Okay, the thing is, like, if I have known somebody for 3 months and I just like run into them occasionally, and we're acquaintances, and we meet at a party and talk for like an hour or whatever.
And then you can have sex with that person.
Well, I don't know if I could.
So
like,
you're not
I haven't done that yet.
You're not a first date kind of.
No, I'm not a first date person.
Oh.
It takes time.
I've
with me.
had an exciting.
No,
sex
I'm
life.
definitely harder to get than that.
Oh God, no.
It takes a while.
I don't know. I love my vagina. I treat it like the gateway to heaven, but I don't.
Exactly.
I don't guard it with little guards down there.
This is an exclusive club.
But listen, if you want it and you're denying yourself because you feel like those arbitrary numbers and rules are like blocking you, that's bullshit. You're just lying to yourself. If you already want to do it, then why would you deny your body something you already want to do? If you don't want to have sex with that person, you say, oh, well, I mean, I kind of do, but I want to wait. Then by all means, wait till your vagina's good and ready. But if you want to have sex with someone, like how long you wait means nothing. Like, why are you lying to yourself about what you want?
Okay, because sexual desires are, in my mind, removed from regular, like, more cerebral desires, I guess you could say, because sexual desires are, like, very primitive, so everybody has them, they're universal, they don't really mean that much because it's just genetically programmed into you to reproduce. What really means something is, like, if I sleep with this person, how is that going to affect the rest of my life?
Oh, no. Who the fuck thinks like that, Ellen?
I do.
If you want to suck somebody's dick, then suck their dick. Like, you don't have to think about anything else. If my mouth wants to be on your penis, no, they're not. Like, the only repercussion I can say is be safe, but that's common sense and logic. So, if I want to sit on someone's dick, like, if I want that and that person wants that and we're both consenting, I'm not going to let something stop me. Nothing can happen after, so everything can happen after. But just because you have sex with someone doesn't mean you're genetically bonded with them for the rest of your life.
No, but I'm just saying, if you see them afterwards, it's going to be weird.
No, it's not. What is this?
It
Grey's Anatomy?
Okay. In every single case where I've slept with somebody and then I broke up with them and I see them again, I can't hear myself.
Uh-oh.
You dropped something. This is not good. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there
okay.
we go. Just one plug.
So anyway, in every single case where I've slept with, okay, and this has only been 4 cases. Just saying. There's my number.
The argument ends right there.
Every time I see somebody after sleeping with them, it's fucking awkward. And
that's because
still
you
like
dated them for 3 months.
And
if
there's still the residual feelings, and it's like, I know your body, so every time I look at you, it's like I see you naked.
Even the fact that you feel like you have to be in a relationship with someone to have sex, like, is ridiculous.
No, honestly, I haven't tried having sex outside of a relationship. I don't know what that's like. I'm not saying it could be bad.
It's amazing. It's wonderful because you're purely doing something that's selfish. You're purely having sex just to have sex, not to, this is my boyfriend.
I only have sex with people that make me happy, and people need to prove that they can make me happy before I have sex with them.
You can meet
if they really want me to make them happy, then yes.
If you can meet someone that sparks your, those fires down there, but you have no emotional attachment to them. I met plenty of people like that, and I was like, you know what? I'd like to fuck that person, but I don't like that person at all.
No, honestly, I know what you mean. Like, sometimes my fires get going around certain people, but
then you should hop on it. No, what are you waiting for?
Because I know that if I were to sleep with those kind of people, then I would not have a relationship with somebody that made me happy.
This is gonna take 2 shows.
I don't want to be in a relationship where I'm sleeping with other people and potentially the person I'm in love with is, and like I would be jealous, first of all. Second of all,
I don't think you should cheat on anyone unless you want to. And in that case, I feel like you should break up with that person.
I don't think there would be any consent with that. Like, who's gonna be cool with me like sleeping around? You know, like with other people. I think people are too jealous mostly.
Well, I'm talking about if you were single, not if you were in a relationship. I'm
Oh,
not
if
saying
I was
go
single?
cheat on people. Like,
Well-
I think that's wrong. I think whenever you're like going behind someone's back to do something is wrong.
If I was single, who knows what would happen?
Everything, because you're 21 years old.
I am youthful and liberated.
Wait, are you?
and-
You're not even 21.
No, I'm still 20.
Exactly. You have so much. Like you didn't.
I have so much youth
This
left
is the
to
thing.
live.
You didn't go to college because college is like.
Fucking expensive. That's what college is.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna say fucking. You could have ended it right there.
No, I mean, if I were single and I were in college, then who knows?
And then everyone knows.
But,
I don't know.
But
I have a blog. If anyone wants to check it out, it's called Asexual Universal.
honestly,
yeah,
I have to admit, when I was in high school, some of my teachers they're pretty cute.
See, that's Ellen is such a little angel. Asexual Universal Tumblr. Yeah. So I mean, I'm a really before I found out about like the Free State Project. The only other time I had been to Manchester, I was seeing this guy and his girlfriend, and they lived here, and they had like a arsenal, and like 2 arsenals, one arsenal full of guns and one arsenal full of sex toys. So if that is any experience,
Wow. Or were they both the same arsenal?
No, they were separate. Yeah. I had a lot of fun, like carnival people, like they used to put on acrobat shows for me, and then, you know, we get super high and do it for like hours and hours and hours. Yeah, see, that was like
That
fun.
sounds nice.
It was all a fun, great experience, and like when I smoke this.
She needs the nicotine, the crack cocaine.
The crack cocaine. But like when I first started, I did look at it like the way you are. Because I had been taught to, but not like my first time I did it. So it wasn't until like a little later that I thought it meant something. And I thought I was, because people have been telling me my whole life that it has to be special, blah, blah, blah. But like when I realized that I just want to have sex, like if guys can just want to have sex, why can't girls? Like
Yeah, that's very true.
I have a vagina down there just like guys have a penis. Like I can use it. So, I mean,
you can use it to your advantage.
I know. And I feel like it's such a double standard, because if a guy went around and fucked 100 people, people would be like, oh. If a woman went around and said she fucked 6 people, people would be like, you whore. Like, how, that is just such a double standard. And your number, how many people you fuck means nothing, because you can fuck 2 people and be the worst person in the world. So it doesn't make you like sluttier the more or less you fuck somebody. That's also something I learned just by watching people. It was this girl I know, she only fucked 2 dudes, and one of them was her boyfriend, and the other was her boyfriend's dad, because she cheated on her boyfriend. Like, and I'm like, okay. And she was like, but I've only fucked 2 people. How many people have you fucked? Like, why does that matter? Like, it makes no difference how many people I fucked, because
I guess it depends on why you're fucking them in the first place.
no, the why doesn't matter.
I mean, what if you're getting paid to do it?
That's your business.
Yeah, I know. I don't like spending time around people like that.
They get paid?
Generally. I mean, just people who are really not picky when it comes to who they let into their life.
Okay, now see, being a trashy slut is a whole different like baseball game. Like, I'm not saying any guy who walks down the street can get in this. No, of course not. It's anybody who I want to have sex with, genuinely. I'm not gonna do anything I don't want to do, but I am gonna do everything that I do want to do, and I'm not gonna let anything hold me back. So it's just like, I don't know. It's like a double. People can view me any kind of way they want, but like, why do you care? Like, what's going in my vagina? At the end of the day, like, that's how I look at it. Like,
As long as it's not mayonnaise. That's all I'm
why? Why? Mayonnaise would be great down there.
So my sister told me a story once about a girl who used mayonnaise and then had well, let's just say she had an infestation.
Of what?
You really want me?
Yes.
Supposedly,
Wait, hold on.
supposedly
hold
she
on,
had.
hold on.
hold on. Supposedly, this girl had maggots growing in her vagina.
No!
And she was getting random orgasms throughout the day because they were squirming around. So that's the supposed story. I don't know if that's true or not, but it sounds pretty gross, and that's why I say no mayonnaise. Or hot sauce, actually. There was an incident about maybe 2 months ago where Andrew was trying to make me breakfast, and he was chopping up some
hot sauce in your
He
vagina?
put some jalapenos in there, and he did not wash his hands, and then he came upstairs and started feeling me up, and it's like, why is my vagina burning?
Oh, I've had that before.
And then he's like, the jalapenos. And it was like, oh, fuck, it's getting worse. Like, you stuck your fingers in my vagina, and you've got jalapeno juice all over them. What the fuck is wrong with you? So I get in the bathtub, and I'm, like, sitting there pouring water on myself. And he brings in a glass of milk, and I pour that on. And he felt so bad.
You poured a glass of milk on your vagina?
I did.
And no maggots?
No.
Okay, great.
No, it was mixed with bath water, so I feel like
okay.
it was okay.
That is so fucking gross. First of all, I don't know. You can put some interesting things in there, like people not.
You know,
mayonnaise.
some people use garlic as a way to cure yeast infection. They like put garlic in their
You
vagina.
could put yogurt in your vagina too.
Ugh.
You can make vaginal yogurt. I read an article about that on
What,
Facebook.
with a yeast infection?
Yeah,
That's kind of what it's like.
yeah. That's all it is.
Wait, so you put yogurt in your vagina when you have a yeast infection?
Yeah, you can put yogurt.
But
in your vagina.
I'm saying a yeast infection is like somebody's put yogurt there.
No, it's bacteria, so it helps it. I don't know. We were talking about sexiness of vaginas, and now we're talking about maggots and yeast infections.
Okay, well, vaginas have a lot of responsibility that comes
They
with them.
do. I don't think
You have
men
to make sure there's
appreciate
no
vaginas.
no foreign objects get in there. You have to like
Toilet paper.
yeah, you have to watch out for toilet paper.
Oh my god! I sometimes it's just like, Rob's like, "Do you have toilet paper?" I can't even. I'm just like,
I'm sorry, but I
like
don't
my
know.
vagina needs a lot of work and
Yeah.
and maintenance down there.
It takes a lot of work to make sure that it's like they're fully clean, because even when you're wearing underwear, there's like still fuzz and stuff.
Yeah, and it's just like I feel like, what's the purpose of underwear sometimes?
It catches the fluid.
Yeah,
But
and then there's fluid. See, no one understands the vagina.
I mean, what do you think happens when girls get wet? Where does that come from?
You know what that is? Cervical mucus. Okay? So, next time when you're feeling on your lady friend and you say, hey, is your cervical mucus leaking? Like, you think about
I have
that.
a sack of cervical mucus that just,
Just
starts
waiting
leaking.
for you, babe. Come and get this cervical mucus.
Actually, I read something a few weeks ago when I think, you know, like some women actually pee a little bit, and that's like what some of the wetness is.
No, that's like when they squirt. Like when they make like how men ejaculate, like
What,
a
you don't
female ejaculation.
Yeah.
Like that is like mixed with urine.
Man. And I always thought I was so good at not peeing on people.
Wait, you and Andrew aren't into that?
Into what?
What is the weirdest thing? I mean, I guess you won't have 4 boyfriends, so what is the weirdest thing that someone has asked you to do?
I don't know. I had sex in a church once. Is that weird?
Yes.
Had sex in a church? I was like, fuck this church.
In the bathroom? Where was it? I need
It
details.
was in.
I need the whole story. Just go for it.
Okay, so my first boyfriend, we kind of got to know each other in church, but neither of us were religious, so like we'd go to church every weekend just to see each other. And one time we were playing, I think it's like Sardines, the game Sardines, where there's one person that runs off and you have to go find them, and you like clump and hide with them when you find them. But me and my boyfriend just snuck into the utility area where they had like the washing machine and the boiler and all this other piping, and yep, we had sex in there. We're like, fuck this church. We're gonna spit on all of these things that they've been teaching us. One time I had sex in a cemetery.
What?
On a car. Yeah.
Wow.
And we thought we heard someone or something coming because it was like footsteps in the leaves. So we just hopped in the car and left. I had sex in a parking lot. I don't know. I've had sex tied up before, but that didn't end well. It was just.
What happened?
It was just a really bad time. Like, afterwards, he made me feel guilty. Where he was like, I can't believe you. You're so fucking sick. So after that, I just.
What?
Yeah.
This is all these bitch ass dudes.
Like, it was his idea, and then he's telling me that
all
I should
these
feel ashamed
bitch
for
ass
it.
dudes have ruined your sexual experience. You should not feel ashamed to it. Like, that's awesome. I think I was gonna say my best time was when I came to New Hampshire. I spent the night handcuffed to a couch.
Wow.
It was pretty good. That was a good time. What else? I don't know. I've had some exciting experiences, but they weren't really exciting places.
I don't know. The place isn't really the part that's exciting. I think it's just how it's done.
I had
That's
sex
the
on a rooftop,
exciting part.
and it was even more exciting because we weren't supposed to be on the rooftop. We had to climb through a window, and like that said, "Do not enter." Like the door was like, "Do not enter," and we climbed through like a little window to get on the roof, and like took a blanket and just did it up there.
You want to hear something crazy? It was like one time I was at a family gathering with my boyfriend. It was like we were over at my uncle's house and we were at his best friend's house, and they had a movie theater in the basement. There was like kids playing Guitar Hero inside, and we just walked outside, and we were like right next to the door, but I was giving him a blowjob, and it was like within visual field of the door.
Nice.
That's
Awesome.
Some
man.
little kid could have walked out and seen us, but they didn't.
It's the thrill. It's the thrill. I don't know. I have a lot of sex, as you know, so it's just like we always do it. Like, I don't know. We ran out of places to do it. We've done it everywhere in the studio.
We're in this chair.
Yeah, of course. In that chair. On the floor.
You know what? I'm
everywhere.
slightly jealous, but at the same time grossed out. But I know anywhere I go, I'm gonna be grossed out too. So it's like I'll just stay here.
Well, we haven't done it at your house yet, so
No.
soon. I'm just kidding. No, I don't know. That's pretty exciting. I don't know.
I had sex in a hot tub, but it didn't work out well either.
Ugh.
There's like friction with the water.
Water's gross. Like, having sex in the water is not like the
I know.
movies.
Actually, that's why I got the kidney infection. Because we tried having sex in the hot tub, and then there was like bacteria from the water that got in there.
That is
And
fucking gross.
It hurts so bad.
That is the grossest thing I
I
ever
decided
heard.
after that I'm not having sex in any water-filled area. Like, I want the fluid to come out of me,
Everyone
not to
knows
go in.
You're supposed to, like, lift out of the water and have
What?
sex.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
Apparently not everyone knows because
well, not you. So. Oh, no. No, I never have sex in water. I don't know. But lately, I've been getting messages on, or comments, or in the chat room, and people are like, oh, Rebel Mistress, I'd love for you to tie me up and, like, do what you want to me. And, I mean.
and you say, yes, I will assist you.
I don't really consider myself super dominant or super submissive.
I don't know. There are times where I'm like, I want to be the submissive one, but then there's other times where I want to be the dominant one. So, I mean,
Do you have to be dominant or
no, I honestly think I would prefer submissive more than dominant.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I did, but I don't know. Rob, I can't with Rob. He takes it too far. He's just got a lot going on.
Well, I mean,
I
I know what you mean though. Like, I used to have a really dominant boyfriend, so
Yeah.
it's like there are times where you have to tell them the limits.
Yeah, I
And
gotta be
then-
like, calm down. Like, I have a uterus, and like beyond that is like I need those parts. So
Yeah.
so we
So it's
can't.
like,
so we can't do.
Don't
this.
hurt me in the process of trying,
Yeah.
trying to
So
make me happy.
yeah, so I can't be super submissive with him. I sometimes I tell him we're like of mice and men, and I'm like, have you read that book?
I believe so.
You better have. Well, anyway, so one Lenny, I think his name is, he's trying to like brush this woman's hair, but he's like a beast, like he's giant, and so when he's brushing her hair, he accidentally breaks her neck.
Oh yes, I remember that.
Yeah, and then he ends up killing him, whatever. And I'm like, I'm like, Rob, like you're
You're
like,
gonna snap my
you're,
neck.
you're gonna kill me and not even realize tries it. Like, he's really gentle. Like, he remembers. Like, he'll try to, like, not lay on me fully, but sometimes, like, he wants to be my big little baby, which he is, and he'll, like, lay on me, and I'm like, I can't breathe.
I don't. You want to know the funny thing? Is like Andrew always wants to be the little spoon.
Oh, it's so cute.
It is cute, and I love being able to snuggle up with him. But at the same time, sometimes I really want to be the little spoon. I want to
You
feel
guys
like
gotta
I've got somebody
alternate.
snuggling.
You gotta alternate.
We don't alternate enough. I just feel like I'm the big spoon more often
You're the big
than
spoon
not.
more
and
often.
Yeah,
Oh.
I haven't told him this yet, so
Well, maybe he'll hear it on this show. Andrew, if you're watching.
I want to be able to tell him in person, but I want to be the little spoon more often.
Yeah. Cuddle. Maybe it's because you're so tall.
I like getting hugs. I like
Jesus.
being cuddled with. I like the physical contact. It's really nice.
Yeah. And plus in the winter, because I'm so
Especially
cold.
in the winter. I'm always
Jesus.
cold.
It's like for survival at that point.
Well, it's not even that. I feel so bad sometimes when I get in bed with him. Like, I come home from work and he's asleep, and I'll just take off my shoes and my coat and lie on the couch next to him. And my toes are ice cold, my hands are ice cold, my face is ice cold. And he's just like, oh, you're so cold. And he's repulsed. It's like, I'm sorry, but I need you to be my personal hand warmer. That's your job.
You're
That's
my personal heater.
your job in the winter is to keep me warm and alive.
Well, it's almost summer, and we will be at Pork Fest. Hopefully, we will be recording
yes.
live at Pork Fest. Hopefully, we're a lot better by that time. What would really help us out is if you donated us some Bitcoin so we can move forward in making our show even better with podcast, URL name. If you are watching this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And Ellen, where can everyone find you?
Well, you can find me occasionally on Puke in the Gang at pukeinthegang.com. Or,
I want to be on Puke in the Gang. Sorry.
oh my gosh, you should come over to our house again and record a show. But I guess you'll have to wait for Andrew to invite you.
Yeah, that's true. Andrew, invite me. Okay.
Anyway, and then I'm also every other week co-host of Dave Bourne's show, Nonpartisan Liberty for All. NPLFA. Nonpartisan Liberty for All.
Oh, or Ferrari?
No, not Ferrari, for all.
Oh, okay. Ferraris for all? Jesus, I need to
Ferraris
listen to
for all, yes. No. I would love that.
Me too.
Free Ferrari? I don't even care what you think about Ferraris. If it's free, then yes, I'll drive it fast.
Did you watch that social experiment where the girl, they're trying to see how faithful the woman is? And so this guy drives around in a Ferrari, and, like, this woman's walking with her boyfriend, and he's like, oh, would you just want to take a ride with me? I just got this car. And they, like, leave their boyfriends. And then one girl was like, yeah, like, he was like, what are you doing? And then he got mad and he walked away. And one girl, he walked up to her and he was like, she was like, I don't speak English. She was a Chinese girl. And then he was like, oh, this is my car right here. Like, I was just going to go around the block and I was going to ask you if you wanted to ride. And she was like, oh, yeah, I want to ride, just in perfect English. And, like, she gets in the car and they go, like, 2 blocks. And he goes, oh, so you just like me because of the car? And then she's like, what? And he was like, what if I told you we're doing a social experiment right now and there's a camera? And then she's like, what? And then he was like, 2 minutes ago you told me you didn't speak English. And then she was like, oh, like, I'm sorry, what do you want me to do? And he was like, get out. And he, like, put her out of the car.
That's what she deserves. I'm sorry, but that's pretty funny.
Okay, sorry. Wait, well, you didn't finish. Where else can they find you?
Nonpartisanlibertyforall.com.
And that's it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or alpshow.com, but it probably doesn't exist. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, you check and you see if that exists.
Or Free Talk Live, LRN.FM. I was on there a few months ago, but I don't do that anymore. I don't know. I'm just throwing out old stuff now. Ladies and Keen. That's where I got my start.
Facebook.com. You want to give them your
I am on Facebook.
You want to give them your Snapchat?
My name is Ellen Ball. No, I will not give you my Snapchat because I want you to keep all your dick pics to yourself. And I mean, once in a while, yeah, that might be nice to see. But I don't want to open that in an inopportune time. And you know what I really don't like about Snapchat is the videos. And I don't know if they're a video or a picture when I start playing them. So sometimes there's, like, really loud music that comes out without me expecting it.
Well, it's purple if it's a video.
And
it's red if it's a Snapchat.
Oh, Well,
See,
I guess I didn't know
Jesus,
that.
get
But
on your
anyway,
shit.
already I've gotten creepy Snapchats from somebody that I friended on Snapchat that I thought, hey, it might be interesting to keep up with this person's life. And then I friend them and they're like, how are you doing lately? And like getting all personal.
Oh, God,
it's like, no, that's not what Snapchat's for.
Don't friend.
And you know what's even
people
funnier?
What?
Sorry. My little brother sent me a Snapchat that said, haha, what are you wearing? Nothing? Haha. And he was like, whoops, sorry, wrong person. And I was like, oh, that's embarrassing.
At that time, it is time to delete Snapchat
And
forever.
I took a picture of me, like, with the raised eyebrow, and I was like, camo pants and and like a huge sweater.
This is what I hate about like that, because if I have multiple chat heads that are popped up, like sometimes I send Rob dirty pictures like throughout the day, you know, because he might want to see my tits and he's at work. So I was like doing that, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna send him on Facebook so he can look at them later too, because sometimes I send him on Snapchat and sometimes I send him on Facebook. So
You better hope nobody hacks into his profile.
oh my God, so let me finish. So there were like multiple chat heads up, and I'm in a group chat with him and Andrew and Renee, and like I'm pressing send on all these pictures, and they all went to Andrew and Renee.
Naked pictures of you?
Just my boobs.
Oh my God. What did they say?
I was like, I realized immediately, and I was like, please delete, please delete, please delete. And then Rob was like, what? Oh, this is what I get all the time. Now everyone gets to see it. I'm like, you're such a dick. No. I'm trying to like do like send you my boobs, and you're like just laughing about it. And I'm like, please, Shire Dude, don't make a meme of my boobs. Like I had to beg him, and I'm like, can you please delete it?
Wait, he was gonna make a meme of your boobs?
I don't know if he was. Of course
This
he
is
was.
why I don't send nude photos, because they could end up in someone else's hands.
And now, so he has that leverage over me, and I don't think he'll ever use it. But I don't know. He's an evil son of a bitch, and you can visit him at shiredude.com.
Is he really evil?
No, Shiredude's awesome.
You trust
But
him.
he still might send a picture of my boobs. I don't know. Renee has them too. Renee, if you please don't hate me.
Don't respect IP.
Jesus, I know my boobs are awesome, but you know.
I mean, they are yours, so
Yeah, exactly. They are mine. I don't know, but if they get leaked, I
if your boobs leak.
just when you're sending when you're sexting, check to see if it's a group chat or if it's that person. Double check, triple check.
You are certainly not the first person to make that mistake. There's
can't
been
be.
many people in the
There
past.
are many people, and we're in the same club, and I feel bad for you. So anyway, this has been a Seditious special with our special guest, Ellen Ball. And this show is dedicated to Renee Cake Free Love.
We missed you.
We miss you. And you can go like our new producer, Jazzy, the studio dog, on Facebook. We'd appreciate it. And as always, remember, sedition is sexy.
Will somebody make us shut up about it?